Hello, I'm Christian Fuke, and this is going to be a podcast about methamphetamines. Sounds a little weird, but it's for a chemistry project and a project for video production, so it's not that bad. And now, just to give a quick historical or technical context on how meth was made, back in the 1940s, Nazis decided to try and figure out a way to keep the soldiers awake better and more efficiently, so they decided to make meth. And initially it kind of did work out, but as it went on, they became more and more addicted to it, and their efficiency just drastically took a turn, and they only wanted the drug. And, people reacted to it at first thinking it was a great thing, but as the months went by, people became more and more obsessed with it, and now people use it for fun and become heavily addicted to it, but those that aren't addicted to it can easily view other people that are addicted to it as lowlifes or criminals. And yes, some people will do crazy things to get it, but sometimes it's out of their control. They become subconsciously addicted to it, as you will learn in some of the interviews I had with two members in the legal system during this podcast. And just for some more background information, I googled how it affected the economy, and it actually affected it quite drastically, to be honest. If you look at the gross domestic production, it actually increases it by over $100 billion just in 2017 alone. But if you look at the lost money in productivity, we lost almost $120 billion. And I think the total, if you equal them out, you still lose billions of dollars just in productivity on drugs, even though if you say it bumps up the GDP, it still costs us money in overall productivity. And now here we are with Randall McNaughton. He is, from my belief, a lawyer in Burlington, and he's actually quite known there and works with drug abusers and dopers, as you'll learn that term in the next interview afterwards, that they are real people. Hello, and you are Randall McNaughton, correct?
Yes.
So what exactly do you do?
I'm an attorney for the state of Iowa with the Public Defender's Office in Burlington, Iowa.
Alrighty, and have you worked with anyone that has done methamphetamine?
Yes, almost on a daily basis. I'm also the District 8B Drug Court Defense Attorney Representative, so meth addicts are a core group of mine.
Alrighty, and can you tell who's on meth just by them walking in the door or anything like that?
Well, if you know the person, very frequently what you can do is you can tell that they're having some sort of a problem, that they're in some sort of crisis, and then you suspect that they're on meth. Sometimes if you've seen them on meth before, you're pretty sure. It's like they are extra them a lot of the time. So the answer is you have deep suspicions when you see somebody that is on meth, but I don't think you can actually tell without, a test.
Alrighty, and just how does it affect someone's social standing in the world? Is there any extra limitations if someone's caught with meth, caught on meth, or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first thing is that when you are doing these kinds of drugs, you end up isolating yourself from your regular social structure. And then as far as in the larger society, if you're caught with meth, it's automatically a crime. And, there are all kinds of penalties that go along with it. Here in Iowa, the minimum being caught with meth for the first time is a 2-day jail stay and a $430 fine, plus a whole bunch of other things, including possible treatment.
And do you know the process of trying to get off meth or getting clean or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. So, to know about that process, one of the things you have to understand is what's going on in the person's brain. The very first time that they take meth, it is the biggest the biggest amount of dopamine their brain will ever receive. On a person's best day, by themselves without any drugs, let's say the day that their son's born or the day they get married, they can only produce a thimble basically worth of dopamine. The very first time they take meth, it's like a 55-gallon drum of dopamine being put into their brain. So what has to happen is the person has to condition themselves to see the triggers and to address the brain's constant desire to feel that good again. The process to get off of meth almost always includes formal treatment and treatments. Inpatient treatments last anywhere from 20 days up to around a year sometimes. During in these programs, they talk to you about the science of meth. They talk to you about just staying clean and methods to do that. Primarily, one of the first things that you have to do is you have to take away the playgrounds and the playmates. So you have to pretty much take that person out of the place that they were doing meth and get them away from the people they were doing meth with. Otherwise, the triggers are too strong and it's almost always unsuccessful. The last stats I heard was that a person all by themselves without any treatment had about an 18% chance of recovering long-term from meth addiction. With intensive treatment, that can go up